What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the interweb? Today, we're talking about Resident Evil 3 Remake, which you may be thinking, wow, Resident Evil 2 Remake just came out. But guess what? There is more. There is news. There is some very major news developing right now from leakers. For those of you guys who do not know what a leak is something, but when it comes to Capcom, it's always true. Why? Because Capcom is their own leaker. They don't have, like, high-tech hacker boys and hacker gamer girls hacking things to get leaks. These guys, legitimately, 100% of the time, just leak their own stuff. They have an employee come out and say something, hey guys, we're doing this. And then it was like, leak, leak, leak. Even though it's technically confirmation, like back in August, when the employees themselves came out and said, hey guys, we're working on Resident Evil 3 Remake. That's kind of how Capcom works. But with that being said, link in the description to my source, by the way. It appears between What Culture Gaming and Evil VR, we now have a leak, but like I said, when it comes to Capcom, it's always confirmation that Resident Evil 3 Remake will be launching before Resident Evil 8. Are you shocked? I am. Oh my god, I would have never expected that. Who would have guessed Resident Evil 2 Remake having at least 60% of the assets already there to make a Resident Evil 3 Remake would automatically mean that Resident Evil 3 Remake will launch before Resident Evil 8, which is going to have to be built from the ground up. Who would have guessed? I certainly did not. Oh my god, I would have bet my entire left pinky on this had somebody told me this was going to happen about a week ago. Are you among the shocked? I am definitely among the shocked. Who would have guessed? This is such a mythical experience right now that we are experiencing. But that is also something I expected in reality, of course, that Resident Evil 3 Remake was going to launch before Resident Evil 8. It's obvious, they have everything there. I mean, like I was saying in the last video or two videos before, they can literally just take the Tyrant from Resident Evil 2 Remake, rework his script, add in some new animations, and boom, we have Nemesis. I mean, obviously make a new model, but still, that's how easy it's going to be to make Nemesis. And as we go forward and more and more and more, most of the game is already remade inside of Resident Evil 2 Remake, so all that you have to do is really just pull it over and boom, we have Resident Evil 3 Remake. So this also falls in line with what Capcom said in 2018 about wanting a brand new Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, and Mega Man every single year. What could that mean? I have no idea, of course. It could mean one new game every single year or all three new games every single year. So far this year we're 2 for 3. We just need a Mega Man announcement and then we'll know what they mean. So if Resident Evil 3 Remake launches in 2020 as, let's say, a launch title for the next gen consoles, then that will make a ton of sense, and I'm pretty sure everybody will be respectively pretty happy about that. Everybody wants more Resident Evil, and if they can launch that on Xbox and PlayStation for the next gen, then we're gonna have some sales pumped up for the new gen of consoles, and everyone's gonna be running excited for Resident Evil, because at this point, this will be the 6th generation of gaming, I believe, that Resident Evil has been featured on. Resident Evil has been on everything when you really think about it. It's been on Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, Sega Dreamcast. I think it was on Sega Saturn. Don't hold me to that, but I think it was on Sega Saturn. It was on GameCube. It was on PlayStation 2. It was on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Nintendo Wii, Wii U, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo DS, Nintendo 3DS, PSP, PS Vita, now Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch. That's 19 different consoles. Oh, that's not even including mobile devices. It was on cell phones. That's 20 consoles already that Resident Evil has been on. So it's going to be really exciting to see it enter its 21st and 22nd console with the new gen if Resident Evil 3 Remake is a launch title for the new Xbox and new PlayStation, which if I was Capcom, that's what I would do just to capitalize, because then you could sell so many copies of this game. Imagine this. The initial brand new Xbox will sell probably 3 million units if all the rumors are true. PlayStation will sell about 1 million if all the rumors are true. The reason I put PlayStation below Xbox is because the Xbox is planning to launch a $100 digital only unit, and PlayStation is planning to have everything backwards compatible, so it's going to be about $600. So if you do the math there, of course the Xbox is going to sell better. So let's just run with that as a statistic, even though it's likely that that's not going to be true. Let's just run with that for a second. That's 4 million consoles that could be out there, and with Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 3 Remake being the only legitimate game launching as a launch title that people will actually want, because let's face it, what are they going to put? The Last of Us, Call of Duty Ghosts 2? FIFA 21. What are they going to do? Seriously. Then Resident Evil 3 Remake would be a huge success. It would probably sell 4 million copies at launch. I mean, obviously that's an exaggeration, but it would probably sell about 3 million copies at launch, because think back to when the PlayStation 4 launched. I don't exactly remember the Xbox's launch titles because I did get a PlayStation 4 first. I remember PlayStation 4, the only games anybody bought at launch were Call of Duty Ghosts and FIFA 14, or knack and FIFA 14. That was the only combination anybody bought for games on PlayStation 4 back when the system launched. So this could be like that all over again. Someone buys the brand new Call of Duty and Resident Evil 3. Someone buys Resident Evil 3 and bada bing bada boom, FIFA 21. So if they do make this a launch title for 2020's new consoles, which is pretty certain 2020's and the new consoles are going to launch, then, they have something going. They are doing the right thing. Resident Evil and Capcom have learned their lessons from Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil 7. They learned from Resident Evil 6 that game style works, but the story needs to be better. They've learned from Resident Evil 7 that they need a story, and that the scares are still a factor that people enjoy. So we got that with Resident Evil 2 Remake. There is also a huge story in Remake, and there's a lot of scare factors. Resident Evil 2 Remake has completely saved the series. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this is the first time in 10 years that there's been a good Resident Evil game. So that is very exciting. Did you pick up Resident Evil 2 Remake? Are you excited for Resident Evil 3 Remake? I know the thing just came out and everybody's already moving on to Resident Evil 3 Remake, but that's what happens with these kind of games. Everyone wants to see what's next, and I'm no different, and you're likely no different than everyone else. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen of the interweb, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.